Hello everyone, Trek here. Today we are going to make a rock, paper, scissors game using a controller and just a couple LEDs and an Arduino. It's very easy to play. Using your controller, you push left for, in this case, blue, up for green, right for red, and these represent rock, paper, scissors. You can play this with your friends. If they make the same game, then you can play with each other. We're also going to, lastly, make a couple of paper indicators that you can slide over your LEDs to indicate which one lit up. See, this one says rock. I'm going to put it over that one. Paper. And scissors. Blah, blah, blah. For when you play. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, everyone. See you in the build. Bye. So, let's just jump right into the materials list. So, first and foremost, we got our basics, our breadboard, our Arduino Uno. Well, this time we're also going to use a joystick. This will come in two parts in your kit. It's just this part, and it snaps together just like that. Notice it also has a button press to it. We're also going to use some assorted breadboard jumper wires, like we usually do. 3 LEDs. And these LEDs here, which are called DuPont jumpers, these ones are male to female. This means that they don't have wires here, but they have wires here. These DuPont ones they have square-shaped sockets. Okay, and then we also have a pen and some scissors and a bit of paper for some paper craft later on. Alright, let's get started. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to attach our DuPont jumpers to our joystick. The joystick should have 5 leads, and you can grab a piece of DuPont that is 5 wires long. Just like that, they all slide on just perfect. And take a moment while we're looking at it to notice that there are 5 labels on your joystick. Ground, plus 5 volts, VRX, VRY, and SW, that means switch. On your breadboard, we're going to take these 5 leads and give them all their own area on the breadboard. So we'll just go we'll take these first 5 is fine. 1, 2, oh my gosh, go in. 3, 4, and 5. I'm just doing this to give the joystick its own space, so it's not in tension with any of the other parts. So, perfect. Notice it's right here. I'm just going to put it off frame for purposes. Alright, moving on. We will go ahead and hook up our LEDs, 3 LEDs. Put the short end on the negative rail, and the positive end on its own row on the breadboard. And do it again for the next LED. And you want to put a lot of space in between them because we're going to be attaching things to these later on. Just right there. And then last one, blue. Put this one almost to the very end because we're going to hook up our rail voltages right there. Perfect. Okay. Now let's move on to our Arduino stuff. Okay, so taking a look at your Arduino, we've got the power input and computer connections right here, facing upward. We've got the digital rail over here and the analog rail over here. We'll do the digital first, simply because it's easier. So on the digital rail, we want 7 to go to blue, the positive rail of blue. We want 6 to go to the positive rail of red, and we want 5. We have a shorter one. Yeah. To go to the positive rail of this LED. Alright, once you've got that in place, I color-coded mine just to keep it straight. Let's move on to the joystick. So, starting at the top, ground. I'm going to start with the Arduino and grab the ground socket Ba, ba, ba. I'm going to put it on the minus rail of the breadboard, just like this. Likewise, I'm going to take the 5-volt socket of the Arduino, which is just above ground, and I'm going to put it on the positive rail. Just like that. Now, regarding the joystick, the red wire here, the top one, GND, that needs to be on ground. So I'm actually just gonna, just because it's so nearby, I'm just gonna unplug this from here and move it back to the negative rail. And we've got plus 5 volts. That's also really near, so I'm just gonna unplug orange. And move that to the positive rail. But VRX, VRY, and switch, those can stay. We'll go ahead and hook those up now. VRX, grab a connection from the positive rail, and go to A1, analog 1. Now, grab VR, that's wrong, how did I get that? Okay. Grab VRY, and put that on A0. Lastly, the switch, we actually aren't going to use this project, but we'll go ahead and hook it up for completionist's sake. Maybe we'll use it in an advanced challenge, or maybe you'll have your own idea. This is going to go to digital number 2. Remember, the switch is what happens when you push the button down. Alright, so we are now all hooked up. I'm going to go ahead and plug it in, make sure it works before we move on to papercraft. Ba, 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 ba. Let's see. I've uploaded the code already. The code is available online, but looks like it works just fine. Left on the joystick turns on, oh, it's this from this perspective. Left on the joystick turns on green. Up turns on red, right turns on blue. Cool. Alright, let's talk about papercraft. So this is rock, paper, scissors, and each of these lights represents one of the 3. So, our goal is to make some kind of thing that we can slide on top of these LEDs that'll represent them. In the simplest form, I'll show you what I made. We've just got a paper 2 with the word scissors written on it. So we can slide that on just like this. Now it's a glowing scissors paper. Likewise, we can do, we'll do it rock, paper, scissors. Rock, scissors, and paper. Ba-ba. Rock, paper, scissors, rock, paper, scissors, rock, paper, scissors. Okay, you are 100% free to do your own system if you'd like. This is just a simple paper 2 with some tape on it and writing. I'm going to show you how to make it just so that you can at least start there for our purposes. But I'm going to take our paper. I'm going to cut across. It's a little tall, maybe right here. Ba, ba, ba. And I'm going to cut this into 3 pieces. 1, 2, and 3. And then, using some tape or whatever kind of adhesive you'd like. Alright, so we are going to roll these into tubes. Just like that. You can go pretty tight because the LEDs are also fairly small. I feel like that's good. Got a little bit of tape. And just cover the base. Just like that. Alright, so we got 1 tube. Do it again. This one might be tighter. Go tighter. Cool. Tube number 2, a bit of tape. Perfect. And tube number 3. And again, you can do anything you like. If you want to like, you know, attach some kind of origami, or maybe like change the theme, or illustrate rock, paper, scissors landscape for use with this game, then go for it. This is just, you know, poor man's mode. Well, alright, so we've got 3 tubes. We'll take our pen and kind of flatten a little bit so it makes a better writing space. Alright, rock. Remember, your opponent has to see it, so on the opposite side, we're also going to write rock. There's our one. Let's see if it fits. Perfect. Just like that. Alright, next one. Paper. And on the back. Paper. Whoop. Whoop, 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 whoop. All right, and then last one, scissors. Oh, yeah, and the back. Ah, ow, 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 come back. Okay, it's back. Right. Ba-ba-ba. Alright, and with that, you've got yourself a working rock, paper, scissors game. You can play with your opponent, who's maybe sitting over here. Rock! Paper, scissors! Alright, moving on from here, if you're interested, there is another video to make it so the games actually can talk to each other and keep track of the score. But until then, I'll see you in another video. Bye-bye, everybody!